All right, everyone, and welcome back into the cave. This is Montreal Monday. This is Exponation. Yes, I know the Fanatic's a little bit late tonight. It's about 15 after 8 here on the West Coast, but oh my God, what a day it was. What a day it was. Started at about 6:30 this morning and rolled right on into about 6:30 this evening. So here we are. After grabbing a quick bite to eat, stopping to do a few errands, I am on the air. So, when we left off together, the team had just made a solid run, and we were possibly making our way into a playoff. Or into the playoffs, as I should say. We are currently 82-58. So, we know we're going to have a 500 season for sure because we've already done that. All right. Now, we all know that the National League East is pretty much out of the question at this point. We currently sit 11 games behind the Atlanta Braves, and I really don't think we're going to make up any ground here in the month of September. However, we currently hold a very, very positive spot in the wild card. So, this team that we've been working with for 3 years has gone from the bottom of the NL East to a almost playoff team to quite possibly a playoff team here in season number 3, which would be 2000 if this was reality, but the screen says 2027. So basically just minus 27 from everything, and that's where we are. Okay. So, before we head into the episode, as always, we want to make sure to take a look at our roster and our starting lineup for this episode and see possibly if we have any injuries we have to worry about. Of course, it is September, so we're going to have some call-ups. Actually, I believe we did that at the end of the last episode, so we shouldn't have much to worry about there. But we're going to fly through this one here. We're going to just roll through. At the end of the last episode, I talked about getting us through and basically just trying to see if we can get into the playoffs, right? So maybe being a little bit later tonight is actually going to force me to do that. I've got about an hour and 45 on the timer, and we're about 3 minutes in to the start of this. So, of course, if you are joining live, welcome on into the show. Be sure to throw your name up on the board, comment, like. If you are a fan of 80s, 90s baseball, I am open to the references, and I love to talk about it. So anything you want to talk about, we are open, especially when it comes to sports. We can have basketball, baseball, whatever it is you want to talk about. If you're looking at the bottom of the gameplay screen, we have got some NHL games that are in finals, quite a few that might actually still be live, so we'll kind of keep an eye on those as we go through the night tonight. And, of course, over on the bottom right of the screen, you can see our famous college basketball scores where I just post every single one because, I mean, who doesn't want to know about Hofstra and Towson, right? I mean, that is a game. That's the game of the night, Hofstra and Towson. But the Fanatic got to go to an Islanders game last week, and yeah, while we got our asses kicked, it was a great time, and that's why I was missing on regular Whalers night too. But not tonight. I didn't want to let you down. I know it was a little bit later than normal, but let's get this show on the road. Okay, so as always, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at our current roster. All right, see who's who, who's healthy, who's not healthy. So we have got our starting pitchers look like this. Well, let's go ahead and we're going to sort this right out. David Wells is active. He's 12-8. He's been pitching very well here, especially through the month of August. Mike Mussina, he's still active as well, 12-11. Trey Moore, yeah, he's had an off year, right? I mean, he was our ace in year 1, kind of fell off in year 2, but here he is in year 3, just 7-7. so not the best year for him. We have got Mike Johnson, who we brought up from AAA. So that's why he's with us here in the bigs. Out in the bullpen, John Rocker is back from his injury, so welcome back, John Rocker. Hopefully we can get something out of you. Bartolo remains injured. Yeah, he remains injured, so we will not have Bartolo Colon in this episode. Greg Swindell's out in the pen, Alan Embry, Jeff Nelson, Mike Maddox, Scott Shields, and Shane Bennett. Our closing pitcher, of course, is Trevor Hoffman, who is his win-loss record doesn't show it. He is 2-5 on the season, 1.89 ERA. So he could possibly be on his way out. Yeah. If we get anybody in here that thinks differently, then just tell me. I'm happy to hear it. Okay, we've got Pudge Rodriguez at catcher with Michael Barrett, Paul LaDuca, and Bob Henley, because this team carries 4 catchers at one time, because who doesn't? I mean, it's always great to have 4 catchers. We've got at first base, of course, Mark Grace. He's having a good season, 322 batting average, 22 dingers, and 81 RBIs, so he'll be playing first base. Second base will be Kilvio Veras. Jamie Carroll will back him up and also play a little shortstop if needed. These guys are going to be important as we go through the stretch run. Charlie Hayes is your third baseman. Orlando Cabrera, Mike Mordecai are the shortstops. So a little utility infield from those two. And then, of course, Rock Raines will play left field with Sung Hyun Chu, who he's on fire as of right now. 227 average, 3 dingers, 34 ribs, and 13 steals. So that's pretty impressive. He's doing okay. Rock Raines, of course, 40 years old, and he's batting .282, 2 homers and 16 ribbies. Of course, we got him in when Ricky went down with that injury, and Ricky's out. We're never going to see him again. He'll be done after this season. Unfortunately, won't be wearing the red, white, and blue of the Expos in the 2001 season. Center field, we've got Ken Griffey Jr. and Terry Jones backing him up. Now, Ken Griffey Jr. has improved mightily this season compared to his first season in red, white, and blue. He has a 289 average, 27 home runs, and 86 RBIs. So, again, another impressive one. I'm sorry, not impressive, but improvement for Griffey. And, we spent so much money on him. It's good to see that he's improving. I mean, he's kind of on the older side in this game. So, 30 years old, not that old. I believe in real time, he probably would have been kind of fighting some injuries, but he's doing okay with us. And out in right field, of course, we've got Vlad, the 25-year-old right fielder. I would assume that at some point here soon, he probably moves on from the team, but not in our world. He'll be sticking it out. He's got a 292 average, 26 home runs, and 87 RBIs. So that's a look at the club right now. Okay, this is September 2nd of 2000, and this team is trying to make some waves. Okay, we're just trying to hold on for that wild card spot and make the Fanatic happy, and all of our GMs, our AGM, our JGM, just trying to get these guys excited about getting this team into the playoffs. So we start the episode. We are 82-58. We're 11 games behind the Atlanta Braves. Okay, but as we mentioned, the main thing is going to be here. Whoop, I skipped by it and I apologize. But we will be. We are currently hold the number 1 wild card spot. We're at +5 games back. Okay. So the team really picked it up in the last episode and got the ball rolling. And hopefully we can hold on to that, because I do not want to be scratching and clawing at the end of the month. Now, what would be great is if we get to 100 wins. Holy, that would be amazing if we could get to 100 wins. So, okay, now before we get things underway, if you are live with me tonight, again, I want to thank you for joining me late. I do apologize for that. The Fanatic had one hell of a day. It started at sun up, and just like his regular day, it ended at sundown. So then I had a couple things to do, grab a quick bite to eat, and then it was right into the studio. So we are rocking and rolling here tonight. If you have questions, comments, concerns about the team, throw them up on the board. I'd be happy to hear anything that you have. Of course, if we get our AGM or our JGM inside the studio, feel free to throw your comments up there as well. Again, we're going to rock and roll through this thing. I got about an hour and 45 that we put on the timer. We've used about 10 minutes so far. So let's go ahead and jump right to the calendar. And we're going to rock and roll through this baby. We are starting off. We've got 3 games with Florida. They have a record of 76 and 63. So not a bad season for the Florida Marlins. Okay, both the Expos and the Marlins have climbed out of the dumpster. So that's a positive. We'll have 4 with the Mets. They are 62 and 78. So not the best season for them. But they continue to play. They continue. They're not improving. I'm tired of just sitting here talking good for the Mets. I do that for my pops. He's a Mets fan. The Chicago White Sox, who are 72 and 69, so they're fighting for a 500 season as well. We'll be taking them on in 3 games. Then we have the San Francisco Giants, who took us down last year and kept us out of a playoff by rocking and rolling through 4 consecutive wins at the end of the season, while we dumped 2 games to the Astros. So we do not want to see that happen again. We will then get the Athletics, who are 62 and 79. Then back to Florida. So we get Florida twice in the episode, and then we will close out the 2000 season with the Atlanta Braves, who currently lead the division. So what I'm thinking here is if we can get to about 92 wins, we'll get that wild card spot, and this team will go on to the playoffs. So it's all gonna start off right here in Florida. We've got Boomer on the hill against Carlos Duarte. All right. Now, when we first started this experiment with this club, I used to go back and look at all these players and try to find out who they were. But since I started doing it this way, a little more live, I haven't been able to do that. So if you're out there and you're listening and you know if Carlos Duarte is a real person, please feel free to throw it up there on the board. I'd be happy to find out who he was and maybe what he did. We know he would have played baseball if he's on here. And of course, at the end of the episode, if you are a regular watcher, we will take a look at our minor league players and a couple that we just created, and we'll see how they're doing at the end of their season. So we have got the Marlins to kick it off, and then we will roll right through the entirety of September. And if we get to the playoffs, we might even get to see a little playoff action with the Expos here tonight. So once again, I welcome you in before we get started on the month of September. If you are new to the show, basically what we do is we have put together, I haven't put together, I was able to get a roster that was very close to the 1998 season. They did a fantastic job, and we have run with that for the last 3 seasons here on the show, making our own adjustments, picking up a couple of free agents that have helped the team significantly, especially Mark Grace and Ken Griffey Jr. Now, with that being said, not only do we have players from that era, we also follow the same rules as that era, as close as possible. Okay, so they're in National League stadiums, we have pitchers hit. And when we play at an American League ballpark, we have a designated hitter. The only rule that's a little off, and you can't change it here in the game, at least I don't think you can, is with regards to the pickoff move. So if you try to pick off more than twice, it basically sends the runner to second, or they can go to second if I try to pick again. It's like a balk. But anyway, so if you're joining me live here, here's what we're going to talk about tonight. So as we go through this, I want to talk about the robotic strikeout system. So one of the first shorts I ever did was after I saw a little story on, I think it was ESPN, about the robotic strikeout system. If that's not what it's called, then please feel free to correct me in the chat. But I'm just curious about what your feelings are on that. Now, being a traditionalist myself, I feel like umpires are important to the game. Sure, at times, having played the game myself, we don't like them, and we don't necessarily want them to be making those tough calls. But I also feel better about that than I do about a robot or whatever it is, a track man, making those ball strike calls. So I haven't had a chance to see any of it in spring training because I've been a little bit too busy this last week and a half. But if you have, please feel free to share here on the channel. I'd love to hear whatever you got to say. So, all right, so game 1 is underway. We are going to have David Booma Wells on the hill against Carlos Duarte. And hey, here's a little Boomer Wells one for you. So I was actually cleaning an area of my house, and I was in the garage. Actually, my wife was in the garage. I'm not going to say it was me because I don't really clean stuff, and don't take it that way. But she likes to, she'll clean. And hidden in one of the cabinets was my David Wells autographed baseball. But the very interesting thing about that baseball is it's actually signed by, at the time, the 3 Yankees who had thrown a perfect game. So without using the internet, okay, there's a little trivia question for you. If you can do this without using without Googling it, and tell me who the 3 Yankee pitchers are that have thrown a perfect game. I got a couple that have thrown no-hitters, okay, but who are the 3 that threw a perfect game? There's actually 4, but who do you think would be on that ball? So, okay, let's rock and roll. Boomer's on the hill. Of course, we play Sunday night baseball, so we'll play that one live, but we're going to go ahead and simulate through, and let's go ahead and auto-fix those lineups, and we take a 4-3 loss. So that's not going to be good for this club. Definitely not going to be good for this club. And we're going to get a 2-0 loss. So the Florida Marlins have had our frickin' number, man. They have definitely had our number. Javi Vasquez now is on the hill here. Who lost that game, by the way? Mike Messina. So he went to 12-12 on the season. So not the best. I see I got a few folks listening in, so feel free to throw some chats on the board. Let me know who you are, and we'll get you included. We'll definitely get you included. So we're heading into Sunday night baseball, and if you're not a regular of the show, David Cohn is one, absolutely. Who's the other one? So we know one of them's Boomer. I gave that away, but who's the other one? Perfect game. So we got 2 here. We got 2 on the board. Okay, so we've got we're heading into this little Sunday contest, and here we go. And we're going to be at home. That's cool. I don't think we'll get to see much. We haven't had a whole lot of actual visible games. Like when I say visible, I mean where we get to see the actual stadium. And we've got, okay, so the next guest was Messina. No, you got to go back a little bit further. Now, there's something really unique about the perfect game that I'm talking about. Because I believe this gentleman is the only person to do this at that specific time. So, okay. Where's Pops when you need him? Because he would throw that up on the board so fast. He would get it so fast. All right, so we're rolling into this game. Javi's going to be on the hill. Our lineup looks like this. No, I'm sorry, it's not Dwight Gooden. It's not Dwight Gooden. Dwight Gooden did throw a no-hitter as a Yankee, as did Mr. Jim Abbott, but he is not a perfect gamer. He is not a perfect gamer. Okay, Tim Raines will be in left field. Mark Grace will be at first base. Ken Griffey Jr. will be in center. Vladdy Guerrero, who is hot. Now, we moved him around a little bit. He's gonna bat fourth and play right. Cabrera will play shortstop. Charlie Hayes is at third. Pudge is at catcher. Mike Mordecai at second. And then Javi will be pitching. Now, we need a big win here, folks. We need a big win. Okay, so Eddie McMahon is going to bat first against Javi, and he gets a single. Dave Berg strikes out.
He's safe.
And so was that, yeah, Eddie's going to steal second because we're not paying any attention to him, which is kind of jacked up. We should be paying attention. Loretta's going to ground out, and Jose Hernandez grounds out. So, nice. We get out of the first. Now, we already lost 2 games in this episode. We need just 10 wins. I think 10 wins should do it. Rock Raines is going to ground out. Mark Grace is going to ground out. Okay, Ken Griffey Jr., start us up. And he singles. Beautiful. See, we ask, and we shall receive. Vlad Guerrero is going to strike out. All right, Javi Vasquez back out onto the mound. Derek Lee doubles. Kotze pops out. Todd Dunwoody flies out, and Mark Strittmatter is going to ground out. So we get through that one. We've given up just the 2 hits. Cabrera is going to single. Hayes grounds into a double play because he wasted that. Pudge is going to strike out. So we have got 2 innings in the books. Javi's, he's shutting him out because, he's shutting him out. But Glenn Brady flies out. Eddie McMahon flies out. Berg singles. Okay, I thought that was a second single. Okay, all right. So you want a hint? Okay, I'm going to give you a hint. So we're talking about, if you're just jumping in here, we're talking about Yankee perfect games. I have a autographed baseball with 3 Yankee perfect game pitchers. David Boomer Wells, David Cone. Yeah, I had to think about it myself, right? And one more. Now, I've seen a couple, it's not Andy Pettit, okay? It's not Catfish Hunter. It's a little farther back than Catfish, all right? And not a lot of guys know him, but he's famous for doing it at a certain point in time, all right? It was a certain point in time. And that's all I'm going to give you, and you can't Google it. Because if that name pops up on the screen, only a true Yankee fan, which most of my watchers are not, but only a true Yankee fan would get it. Okay, let's get back to the game. Mark Loretta is going to strike out. Bumba. All right, Glenn Brady gets Mordecai. Vasquez grounds out. The Rock singles. And we're going to have... he got caught stealing. Hernandez grounds out. Lee singles. Kotze double play. So we got a decent game, right? We need a win here, baby. We just need a win. Grace singles to start us off. Griffey grounds into a freaking double play. Vladdy walks, and there's the fly out. So Javi goes back to the bump. He's got about half his energy. Dunwoody's going to fly out. Strittmatter's going to ground out. Brady's going to fly out. Here comes Charlie Hayes to lead off the bottom of the 5th. He grounds out. Pudge grounds out. Mordecai grounds out. So we have 4 hits in this one. They have 4 hits in this one. So we've got a Glenn Brady, Javier Vasquez freaking pitching duel. And a single for McMahon. 3. A strikeout for Berg. He's safe. He steals a base. Ball 4. We walk Loretta, and now we got to pitch to Hernandez. Look at, his numbers are not the greatest. He's not a big power guy. And we get him to ground into a double play. So I think we're going to have to go a little small ball here. If we get anybody on base, we're going to have to move them. So I think we go with, we're going to take Javi out. We've got to take him out. And Junior GM says Babe Ruth as the perfect game. No, that's too far back. But keep throwing it up there on the board. The man could pitch. I don't know if Babe Ruth ever actually pitched for the Yankees, though. I don't think he did. I think he was more of a Sox pitcher. And then when we got him, we saw his true talent, which was swinging the bat. And that's why he played right field. But, that is a debate for a whole nother time. I once had a 1-hour debate before a golf tournament with about 4 of my guys about whether or not Babe Ruth could play now. And I actually put together a short video when I was first started talking about this whole YouTube thing, just to see how he would do if you posted him up in the major leagues. And he actually did okay. If you take his created player here on MLB and you dump him into the major leagues now, he goes about 14 years and he has pretty similar numbers to what he would have had. Of course, they don't stack up to the now, right? Because these guys are hitting as many home runs. Okay. But anyway, that's for another day. Unless you want to keep talking about it, just throw that shit up on the board. I'd be happy to talk about it. Okay. Javi Vasquez now is going to not bat. We're going to go with the hottest bat on the team, Sung-Hyun Chu. And, of course, he flies out. The Rock grounds out. And Grace. Okay, so Sung-Hyun, you got to come out because I can't leave you in. And we're going to go to, let's see what we have coming up here. We've got right, left, right. So let's go with a, do we want to go with Embry? It's kind of early for Embry, but we do have Rocker back. So Embry's going to come in. It screws up their names so bad. There's a fly out. Kotze flies out. Dunwoody. So good job by Alan Embry getting out of that one. Griffey flies out. Guerrero singles.
Now pitching, Steven Hinojosa.
So it gets Steven Hinojosa, but it can't get Alan Embry. I love this game, man. It cracks me up. Okay, Cabrera strikes out, and Hayes is going to walk. So we got a first and second, and bada bing, there's another ground out. So this game is pretty good, in case you haven't been paying attention. It's a 0-0 game. We're in the top of the 8th. Embry's going to come out. We're going to go to Rocker early.
Now pitching, John Rocker.
Hey, got John Rocker right, though. And Mark Strittmatter is going to be pinch hit for. There's a ground out.
Now coming into pinch
Jim Edmonds. Okay, so if you're a regular viewer and you watch this show, okay, and I know there's not a whole lot of you, but I do get quite a few the next day. But if you're a regular viewer and you watch this show, has anyone noticed that a lot of the backup and bench players are some kick-ass players, man? There was like I think it was 2 weeks ago I'm doing the show, and I don't even remember. It was the Dodgers, I think. They brought in back-to-back pinch hitters, and they were studs. They were absolute studs. Jim Edmonds is coming in to pinch hit for the Marlins, and he grounds out. Eddie McMahon strikes out. Okay, so not bad. We get some help from Embry. We get some help from Rocker. They hold it scoreless. Now we need some offense. Mordecai grounds out. Now Rocker has to come out. So who do we go to? So we've got three catchers currently on our bench. So okay, I'm gonna leave it up to let's see what we got out here. Let's see what we got in here. We've got Henley, we've got LaDuca, we've got Jones, we've got Carroll, and we've got Barrett. So throw it up on the board. If you're watching me live and you're afraid to say anything, okay, it's okay. Tell me who you think we should put in. Do we go with one of our 3 catchers and just, deplete them? Hold on to Jones and Carroll. So who pinch hits here for John Rocker? Okay. I'm looking at 10 seconds on the board. Okay, no problem. So I'm going to make the call, and I'm going to go with... Okay, we're going to go with Jones. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go with Terry Freakin' Jones. Terry Freakin' Jones, and he pops out. Way to go, Terry Freakin' Jones. The Rock comes up, and there is he out. So who's my favorite MLB player that I have ever met in person, huh? Well, I spent some quality time with Boomer, having worked on a few of his golf tournaments, and that was a lot of fun. He is a character. I did enjoy being around Boomer quite a bit. But I'd say in person, baseball player that I've met, I got to meet my heroes. Both of them, not long enough to really talk to them. Another one that I spent quite a bit of time with that I really enjoyed was a kind of a famous relief pitcher, great lefty, made the final out in the 1986 World Series, and really got to know him well, got to spend a lot of time talking to him. That was Jesse Orozco. He is totally down to earth. You wouldn't even know he was a long-time ball player. But he's a great guy, and he has to be one of my favorites. If anyone's out there listening, which I know you're not ball players, but, no offense. No offense, even though I spent some time with you. But, yeah, Jesse was pretty cool. And, being around the golf industry, got to see him quite a bit. So, definitely pretty cool. I know he holds a record, too. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's appearances or innings pitched. I'm not really sure. I'd have to look that up. It would probably be appearances because he only would pitch like 1 or 2 innings. But I know he was like the reliever of the year in like 86 or something like that. Okay, so we're gonna keep going here. Now Terry Jones goofed up and couldn't hit, so we got to pitch. We got to bring in a freaking pitcher here. We can't bring in Trevor because it's a 0-0 game. So let's go to the bullpen and see what we got. What we have left. Well, we got plenty of pitchers left. We're gonna go to Jeff Nelson.
Pitching.
We're gonna let him pitch the ninth.
Nelson.
He gets the ground out. He gets the strikeout. And he gets the strikeout. So this could come down to Mark Grace getting some shit done, all right? We've got Grace, Griffey Jr., and Guerrero. All right? What are the chances of a walk-off here? We need a win, man. We need a win. A ground out for Grace, a line out for Ken Griffey Jr.,
First base.
and, ooh, Guerrero makes it interesting by getting hit by a pitch.
3.
And there's a strikeout. So do we leave Nelson in? Yeah. And he gives up a single. Kotze
Pinch running at first.
3.
strikes out. Dunwoody
Yiddy. Cape. Now coming
flies
in to
out.
pinch hit.
Here's Redmond.
He's safe.
Marquez.
So we got a stolen base. So they move the runner over to second. Nelson's going to go against Redmond,
Ball 4. Take
and
the
he
base.
walks him. So the pitcher's coming up. Do we leave him in? Sure.
Now coming in to
Alex
pinch hit.
Gonzalez,
Alex
and he hits into a fielder's
Gonzalez.
choice. Okay, so Nelson holds it down in the 9th and the 10th. He's going to come out in the 11th for sure, unless we can get something done here, because then obviously the game would be over, right? Charlie Hayes,
Now pitching. Gary Liss. Now playing first
doubles.
base.
Way to
Number
start it,
21.
Charlie, baby. That's what I'm talking
More
about.
outs.
Now we've got to go, and we're going to pinch run, and I don't think we have anybody that can run. Jamie Carroll can run a little bit. David Wells has no speed. Yeah, we're not going to put David Wells out there. I think we go with Bobby freaking Hens, man. That dude can run. He's got some legs.
Now running at
Get out
third
there,
base.
baby.
Number
Okay,
14.
Pudge is going to
Bob
stay in to hit,
Henry.
and he grounds out. So Bobby's stuck on second with 1 out, and Mike Mordecai trying to get us a win.
Ball 4. Take your base.
And they walk him. So they're looking for the double play for sure, right? So what do we do here? I mean, Nelson has to come out. And all we have left on the bench is Barrett, LaDuca, and Carroll. And LaDuca, let's see what his numbers look like on the season. LaDuca has played 1 game and done nothing. Actually, I think we just brought him up from the minors. Jamie Carroll, he's not that good. Barrett, he's only played 3 games. So, wow, these guys are, these September call-ups, they could help us right here. Let's see if we can get something out of Paul
Coming in to
LaDuca.
pinch hit. Paul Luca.
3.
And he strikes out. So it's all up to Rock Reigns here. See if he can't end this one. And he grounds out. Okay. So we got to go back to the bullpen. And, I jump into a game and we're playing it. And it's a long one. It is a long one for sure. Okay, so we're gonna bring in, let's see, we got switch, right. So they have 3 righties and then another switch hitter. So let's go with Johnson,
Now pitching.
who just came up.
Mike Johnson.
So Mike Johnson just called up in the September call-ups.
3.
He gets a strikeout. He gets the ground out, and Loretta grounds out. So we get another chance here with the paycheck or the bank, whatever we want to call them. Grace, Griffey Jr., and Guerrero. Can somebody get something freaking done here in this inning?
Now pitching.
Heredia's coming in to pitch.
Herrera.
3.
There's a strikeout.
3.
There's a strikeout. And there's a ground out. Mike Johnson, you got to carry us, baby. This is the top of the 12th. And this game is a little too much for the Fanatic because every time I'm trying to, fly through something, these freaking guys do this. And there's a ground out. There's a single. Kotze fielder's choice. Let's go, Marquez. Ground out.
3.
There you go. A strikeout. Very good job, Mr. Johnson. All right, so we are in the bottom of the 12th. Cabrera's going to lead it off. And then Bobby Hens, who's been playing third base since we put him in for Charlie Hayes. And there's a ground out. Bobby Hens, can the Montreal Masher walk it off into the sunset? Our man, Bobby Hens.
Take your base. Ball 4.
Oh, he didn't walk it off, but he walked. He walked, and it's going to be Pudge coming to the plate.
3.
He strikes out. Mike Mordecai, fielder's choice. So we are going to the 13th inning. The 13th inning. God dang it. Okay. And we're going to leave Mike Johnson out there because he's still got some juice. Redmond, singles. Heredia,
Ball 4, take
walks.
your base.
So Mike Johnson is going to blow this shit, but we're going to take him out. We're going to go to Greg Swindell. Welcome into the game.
Swindell.
He gets, sack bunt. So here's what we do.
Ball 4,
We
take
walk
your base.
and go for the double play. Now, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. And an error? A freaking, you know what? A freaking error, dude. An error. Let's see who made that error. Does it show you? Mark Grace made the error. If you didn't see that, it was at the bottom of the screen. Rewind. But anyway, fielder's choice, 2 outs. Swindell gets the out. So we had our opportunity twice so far in extra innings with Grace, Griffey, and Guerrero. Swindell, you are not going to have to hit. We're going to go to Jamie Carroll to lead off.
Jamie Carroll.
And Jamie Carroll grounds out.
Oscar.
Take your base. Ball
Raines
4.
is going to walk. Grace flies out. So Ken Griffey Jr. with a chance to walk this game off.
Ball 4, take your base.
And he walks. So Vladdy can do it.
Ball 4, take your base.
Okay, bases juiced. 1-0. It comes down to Orlando Cabrera against Oscar Henriquez. I don't even want to press the button. I know I have to. And he pops up. What a freaking waste of a bases loaded situation. Okay, so that's going to do it for that one. And the team has started the month of September 0-3 with 3 consecutive losses to the GD Marlins. That's right, I said GD. I try to be as clean as I can here inside the cave, right? Don't want to offend the pups, even though the pups are not here with me tonight. Usually they are. Usually they're sitting right here, but they're not here tonight. Okay, so we've got the Mets and the Expos here for 4. Kenny, the Roaster Rogers is on the hill, and we get a loss. We've lost 4 straight, folks. This team is trying to not make the playoffs, okay? They're trying to not make the playoffs. And we get a win. Thank you very much. Who was the winner in that game? Jeff Nelson. I believe that was Trevor Moore's start. So good job. We get a second win. So we are now 84-62. And we get a third win. So after losing game 1 to the Mets, we come away with 3 straight wins. We're heading to Chicago's coming to us. And we get another win. We are now 86-62. The screen is kind of small for me. Usually I'm playing it up on my TV, but I don't have it up on my TV here. I decided not to turn it on. And we get another win. So the team is on a winning streak. And every time I say that, we lose. And we lose. There we go. I skipped Sunday baseball because I just want to see us get through September and see if we can get into the damn playoffs and who we would play. So we're just rocking and rolling. Let's go check out the standings. All right. So we've played half of the month so far. And have we locked up a spot? No, we've got a pretty solid lead in the wild card. So we're holding on to a wild card spot at the present time. So while we're sitting here and we're kind of moved off of the game screen for a second, how about the World Baseball Classic? Is that what it's called now? Has anyone seen any of that? I kind of heard little bits and pieces. Again, very busy couple of days here for the Fanatics, so I haven't had a chance to do much of anything except go to the game last week with the Islanders. But I'd love to hear some stuff about the Classic and see who's been playing good for the United States. I mean, was there any snubs? Was there anyone who should be there and isn't there? I'd love to hear that stuff. Definitely love to hear that stuff. Okay, let's go back to the calendar. So I've been just kind of speed rounding this thing, okay? We're about 40 minutes into the episode. I'm trying to get us through the month of September as quick as possible so we can see this club get into the playoffs, and we'll probably go in and play those games for sure because I think at this point at 87-63 with 12 games to go, I think we can do this. Okay, even if we go 500 over the next 12 games. We could probably get this taken care of. So we're going to beat San Francisco 9-1. We're going to beat them 6-2. And we're going to lose in game 3 of that series. So we are 89-64. And if this team gets 90 victories, we might just end the experiment. Nah, we can't, right? We got to get to the World Series. That's the whole point. The whole point. The A's, we get a loss. We get another loss. Do not get swept by the A's. And no, we get the win. Okay. So the team is doing okay. All right. I don't think we're going to do anything change-wise. I'm seeing pretty solid numbers. Okay, we've got a bunch of wins and a couple of losses. But if you are just joining the show, we are at about the 40-minute mark. Okay, we are almost done with the season. We've got 6 games left of the regular season here in 2000. The team is doing very well. We're on our way to hopefully a wild card position and a playoff series. We just got our 90th win. That is the most for this team since we have taken over. And that just tells us either we're doing something right or we're doing something right, I guess. No, probably not. You know who I owe it to? I don't want to say little. I'm pretty sure he's not little, but my JGM, my AGM, these guys came up with some huge trades, even though the guys ended up breaking their bones like 2 minutes after we signed them. But they came up with some big trades, kind of messed with the chemistry of this team, and they started winning. So I think that's why we are where we are at this point. So, all right, Mussina is going to win against the Marlins. So the Marlins have had our number, but now they swept us in Montreal. Now we're going to sweep them in Florida because as soon as I press the button again, we get 3 wins. So awesome. The team is 93-66. All right, let's go back to this main screen. So again, the NL East completely out of the scope. We are not going to do that. All right, we are currently 93-66. The Braves are 104-55, and that little W means we have clinched a wild card spot. So who gives a shit about the last 3 games against the Braves? We're in. This team is in, and I don't know, sweeps. That's right, baby. We are. Hopefully we can get some sweeps in the playoffs, right? Sweeps in the playoffs would be huge. But this team could be on a roll. They could be on a roll. They are, well, except for Trey Moore. He's 7-8. But they are winning pretty good here after I said that we were losing and tanking. We've been doing much better. So, okay, I said 500, right, for the last 12 games, and I'm not the biggest mathematician, but I think we're there. Yeah, we've got 6 wins out of 12 games. We have 3 games out of that 12, so am I getting to you? Am I getting that? Yeah, okay. All right, we got a win. Oh, we got a win against the Atlanta Braves. Get the hell out of Dodge. And then we get another win, and here Mike Mussina is going to have a chance in the last game of the season to get us to 96 wins. And, of course, we lost the game. But we are in, folks, and it kicks me right over to the bracket. And if we have not seen this, we have not seen our Montreal Expos in the bracket. Look at who we get in the first round. Holy shit. We get the Florida Marlins in the first round. Now, if you haven't been watching the show and you're new to this whole experiment, that team, no matter how bad they are, no matter how decent they are, they got our freaking number. Now, we did get the sweeps in the last series of the season against them, but we know that they can beat us, right? We know they can beat us. And we actually saw a game here live in the episode that basically proved that. Yeah, I mean, that was like a 14-inning game. We should have taken them down, but we did not. Well, that was weird. Had a little clicking noise there. I apologize for that. Okay, so I don't know if you could hear that. But anyway, I'm just tired. The Fanatic's a little tired. So, okay. Here we go. We are in the playoffs. Welcome to the playoffs. Montreal Expos. We're taking on the Florida Marlins as we look around the league. The Dodgers will take on Pittsburgh in the wild card. The Braves, of course, who kicked the living crap out of the entire National League all year. They're the 2 seed. Holy what? Dang. Okay, you know what? It's time to go. Let's go check out their records. No, I don't want to. That would have sucked. If I had backed out of this whole thing without saving it, oh my God, I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed. They would have been sweepsing up stuff all over this room. Okay, so here's how we finished the season. Let's take a look. So we're in the regular season is over now. Okay, I just buzzed through this thing tonight because I was a little bit later than normal. So I buzzed through it, and nobody wants to sit here and listen to me commentate the baseball games, right? The whole idea is to see if we can build a team and get them to the playoffs. We've finally done it, and here we are. So we finished second in the East. We were 10 games behind the Braves. So we actually picked up a game in the episode. Congratulations to the team for that. Okay. The Braves finished 105 and 57, and they have a playoff spot. The Marlins snuck into that other wild card spot, so congratulations to them, as I mentioned earlier. The Braves won 106 games? Yeah, 106 games, and the Braves won 105. So it's a very tight race for that top spot. The Pirates are also in as a wild card. They had 88 wins. So why couldn't we get the Pirates in the first round? I don't know how that works. The Dodgers, that's why. That explains it. They were 84 and 78. The rest of the National League West looked pretty darn awful. The Giants finished 80 and 82. The Padres finished 71 and 91. The Rockies 71 and 91, and the Diamondbacks 57 and 105. Now, I'm pretty sure that if this was accurate, the Diamondbacks would actually win the West the next year and make it to the World Series. And they would beat my Yankees, right? In the World Series that year. Yeah, that one broke my heart, man. We were just talking about that at work the other day. That one broke my heart because I talked so much shit. I'm like, the Diamondbacks, whatever, the Diamondbacks. And then we lost to them. Yeah, but that was they had a great pitching staff. They had Schilling and they had Randy Johnson. So let's look at some other stuff, okay? We're going to go ahead and look at the league leaders at the end of the season. So, again, like I said already, the regular season is over. It's playoff time. Edgar Martinez had the highest batting average in the league, and Mark Grace finished second. So we made a good move by picking up Grace, right? He finished 17 points behind Edgar, but not bad. He hit 327 on the season. Hits, Mark Grace led the league with 100 and... Ow, I just hit my head on a microphone. 192 hits for Mark Grace. Tony Womack was your at-bats leader. Whoop-de-doo. He was your doubles leader. Wow, good for you. Luis Castillo had 8 triples on the season. And Kilvio Veras, who finished on the injured list. Uh-oh, we got to check that shit out because I don't even know who's playing in the playoffs. But Luis Castillo, he finished with 8. Kilvio finished with 6 on the season. So not a bad season for Kilvio. And we were going to trade him at one point. Home runs was Jim Thome, Sammy Sosa, Albert Bell. Look at the top 5 home run hitters in the National League. Holy. Now, I have to click over because I want to see the American League totals. And Derek Jeter is not there this year. Last year he hit 58. This year, not so much. Javi Lopez, Mo Vaughn, Tino Martinez, Manny Ramirez, and Pablo Valentin. All right, that was the American League. RBI leaders, Chipper Jones taking that title. Sammy Sosa second. Jim Thome in third. We take a look at the runs. Yeah, whatever. Stolen bases. Now, if you had said to me at the beginning of the year, when I had Ricky Henderson in our lineup, who was going to win the stolen base crown, I would have said that the 41-year-old, if he could stay healthy, would have stood a chance. Because he could have got more than 51, right? And even Ricky Henderson would have told you that himself when he was 41 years old. Yeah, for sure. Base on balls, you've got Edgar Martinez. On base percentage, Martinez. He's like the best all-around hitter in this simulation so far. Greg Maddux, he got the wins title with 17. Not the greatest. Losses, Greg Maddux. Well, that's not right. I wish it would show you the total losses. I don't know if you can. No, I can't. So, okay. Saves, Chad Adams. Beautiful for Chad. ERA, Kevin Millwood, 2.19. So I'm not seeing any Expos in here except for Javi Vasquez. David Wells. He had 16 wins. So congrats to David Boomer Wells, who we picked up in the offseason. So that was a pretty good pickup. And again, the Fanatic loves to go with the veteran players. That's kind of my thing. So home runs allowed, shutouts, and strikeouts. Kerry Wood, 261. In the American League, it was Pedro Martinez, who at one point during the season, the AGM and the JGM suggested that we try to trade for, and the Red Sox said absolutely frickin' not. And this explains why, right? 244 Ks on the season. So totally explains that one. And complete games. So not bad. Will they show us the awards? Okay, so they're out too. So here's your awards on the season. Let's see if we had any Expos picking up an award on the season. So the most valuable player in the National League was Chipper Jones. If I click over and it's Derek Jeter, I'm going to start laughing. Oh, Tino Martinez. Derek finished third in the voting. So congratulations to Tino Martinez, who finished the season with 34 home runs, 103 RBIs, and a 305 batting average to take the American League Most Valuable Player Award. Excellent job, Tino. All right. The Cy Young for the National League goes to Greg Maddux. And in the American League, it was David Cone. So that's about right. I don't know. I don't know if David Cone ever actually won one. So, you know what? Actually, speaking of David Cone, I did not give you the answer to the question earlier. And if you're still watching, the answer to the question, that baseball that I have in my possession with the three Yankee perfect games to that point when it was signed are David Wells, David Cone, and my one hint was that he did this in a situation or at a time that was very unique. We have one Yankee pitcher who threw a perfect game, not a no-hitter, give the man some credit, a perfect game in the World Series, right? And when I was a kid, I actually recreated the scoreboard and put it up in my room because, that was like stuff of legendary, it was like mythical shit because obviously, I would have never seen that. It happened, I believe, in the 50s. Might have been late 50s, early 60s. I don't really know the date. You can look it up. But the third name on that ball is Don Larson. So that ball is signed by Boomer, Coney, and Don Larson. Now there's a fourth that gets added now, but I don't have his autograph, and I probably will never get it. But that ball means a lot to me, and it was just there. We just found it. So, okay. So bumping it on over. Let's bump it back over. We're going to keep going here. Reliever of the year goes to Mike Jackson. And no, not the king of pop, but Mike Jackson. Batting title goes to David Justice. Now, am I reading this right? Oh, I didn't look at that. That's right. I didn't look at that. I didn't look at the American League ones. So reliever of the year is Mike Jackson. Keith Folk from the White Sox gets the American League. Here's your rookie of the year, Darren Dixon from the Arizona Diamondbacks. And you've got Barney Whitman of the Texas Rangers. So AGM, JGM, Barney Whitman, left fielder. Okay, we gotta take a look at this kid's contract. Ooh, he's gonna be a free agent. So write that one down, Barney Whitman, because we need a left fielder. All right, we're not gonna go with Rock. I don't know if we're gonna be able to go with Sung Hyun Chu, but I would love to go after the rookie of the year, Barney Whitman, and see if we can't make him a goddamn franchise player for the Expos. With 17 home runs and 57 RBIs in his rookie year. Wow, that's great. So Barney, I'm just going to remember Barney. It's the late 90s, 2000s episodes. So yes, Barney is a character from the time. So actually he might have been earlier in the 90s, but anyway, who cares? Who cares? I mean, I can go so deep in that. But anyway. Okay, so your Hank Aaron Award goes to David Justice, who completely turned down this team in the offseason. Arturo Torrero is your Gold Glove Award winner from the Mets. And Carl Pavano, who we traded, Bamba. Jeff Reed is the Gold Glove catcher. Gold Glove first base is David Segui of the San Diego Padres. Second base, Scott Spezio of the Padres. Jose Hernandez is the third baseman. So Charlie Hayes actually finished third in the Gold Glove voting. So congratulations there. So we got no Gold Gloves so far. Last year was Ken Griffey Jr., who has currently the only award or the only trophy in our trophy case here in the main office. Cabrera finished second. So good thing we didn't trade him either, right? He's doing good. Left field, nobody. No center fielders? There's no Gold Glove center fielders. This game is a freaking trip, man. I swear to God. Look at 2025, none. 26 was Griff. And then 27, nobody. And Paul O'Neill wins it with the Pirates. Paul O'Neill's with the freaking Pirates on this show. And he wins the Gold Glove for right field. So it's time, okay? We've got about 30 minutes left in the episode. And it is time to see what we can do in the playoffs. Now, we're taking on the Florida Marlins. Now, this is a wild card, so I'm pretty sure this is just 3 solid games. We could be into this and out of this, okay? But the nice thing is all the games are at home. So we're gonna play these. We're going to play these out. This is game number 1 of the wild card. And, first off, hold on a second there, Fanatic. We've got Boomer on the hill in game 1, the Moose in game 2, and Javi in game 3. Okay, I like that. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe Javi in game 1, Boomer in game 2, Moose in game 3. Because, I mean, Javi's really our best pitcher. Okay? Moose pitched the last game of the year, so Javi was supposed to be up next. And we go right to David Wells. No, we're not doing that. We're going to mix this up because we're going to go Javi, Boomer, and then Trey Moore can come out of the bullpen if we absolutely need him here in the series. Let's take a look at the lineup, too, because I think there's an injury in there. So against right-handed pitching, let's go take a look at their team, see what we're getting here. So we're getting Livan Hernandez, Kevin Na. Kevin Na. Isn't Kevin Na like a golfer? Oh, it's Ken Na. Oh, it was Kevin Na. Okay. Ken Na in game 2, and then Carlos Duarte. So we got to take a look at this club because we got to see what we are up against. I think oh, look at that. You could do that. Pretty cool. Sick. All right, so here's what we're up against starting pitching-wise. We said Livan Hernandez, and Livan is he's a right-handed pitcher, and then Na is a lefty, and Duarte is a lefty. So we're going to face back-to-back lefties in this series. So let's go to our lineup. And we're going right-handed, no DH. So I don't know if I like he's got to, man. That's all we got, right? We got either Tim Raines or Terry Jones, but they're both switch. So I think we go with that. And then against the lefties, Tim Raines, Mark Grace, Ken Griffey. Yeah, those are lefties. So they're both lefties. We need a righty. We need a right-handed bat that can come in. Well, Pudge is a right-handed bat and we got plenty of righties off the bench. So okay, I think we're safe. I think we're pretty good. Let's roll into game number 1, okay, and see what we can get done here. We're taking on the Florida Marlins in the first playoff series in Exponation history. So this is historic, folks. This is historic. I didn't think we'd get there. If you go back to episode numero uno, okay, or in Canadian, no, I don't know if that's how you say it. I don't know. I'm making myself laugh. I mean, I should. I took French for like 4 years in high school, but is it? Anyway, if you go back to that episode, I don't think I said I think I thought I is that even, can you even say that? I think I thought I no. I think I said we would go 5 years without a playoff run, but here we are, early, right? Spend a little bucks and spend a couple of bucks and you get a playoff run. So we're going to go ahead and simulate the games before us. And we're playing in Olympic Stadium, so we're in front of the home fans for this one. And let's see what we can't get done. We are managing. If this game goes to extra innings, we watch it. We'll jump in and watch it. But hopefully it doesn't. This has been a tough team for us to play. Javi Vasquez will be on the bump. We trust him more than anybody else. And let's see if we can get this done. Javi gets Loretta, gets Berg, Edmonds is going to single. So Jim Edmonds is now starting in this lineup. He came off the bench the last time we saw these guys.
He's safe.
And there's a stolen base for Edmonds and a pop-up. So Tim Raines trying to lead it off. Solo jack for the Rock. Tim Rock Raines welcomes the fans back to playoff baseball in Montreal with a freaking home run. Woohoo! Thank you, Rock. And you know what? He wouldn't have played. He wouldn't even have played if Ricky hadn't got hurt. So, you know what? If the season ends right now, we got a playoff home run from Tim Raines. Mark Grace grounds out. Griffey grounds out. Vladdy grounds out. So we got a 1-0 lead through 1. There's a ground out. Fly out. So 2 innings down. An inning and a half down. We lead 1-0. Single for Cabrera. Single for Hayes. Bunt for Pudge. Mordecai walks to load the bases. Can Javi help himself? He suicides it. Oh, what a suicide squeeze. You don't see that very often. We did it with Javi Vasquez, and we got the run. It's 2-0, and you ground out. So we get the extra run. See, a little small ball goes a long way, especially in the playoffs, right? Especially in the playoffs. And being a fan of the Yankees in the late 90s and the early 2000s, even though we had some killer bats, we did like to do shit like that. So, all right, Javi gets the ground out. And we let Livan Hernandez reach on an error. Loretta's going to hit into a fielder's choice. Berg grounds out. So it's back to the Expos are back at the plate. Grace singles to lead off the inning. Griffey grounds into a freaking double play. And there's a ground out for Vladdy. Okay. Double Edmonds. Double Marquez. And it's 2-0. Wait, what? Oh, did they throw him out at home plate? Did we miss that? Oh, we got to see what happened there. I don't know what happened there. So Felipe Marquez doubles to right, and Vladdy throws out Jim Edmonds at home plate. The frickin' cannon on Vlad, baby. And yes, good job. And there's a strikeout. Derek Lee singles and drives one in. So it's now 2-1. And then a 2-run jack for Kotze. So Javi, we put all of our eggs in the Javi basket. And we're down 3-2 here in game 1. And there's a ground out. Okay. So Livan Hernandez goes back to the bump. Cabrera is going to ground out. Hayes hits a solo jack to tie this puppy up. So some of the older guys on this team, The Rock with a solo home run. Charlie Hayes with a solo home run. Pudge singles. Mordecai grounds into a double play. So we have got a game, folks. It's 3-1. We still have Javi out on the bump. He gets the fly out.
Ball 4.
He
take your
walks Loretta. He gets a fielder's choice.
base. Ball 4. Take
He
your base.
walks Edmonds, and Felipe flies out. So Levon not pitching awfully. Okay, he's getting some help from his offense, which is kind of rare with this club when we actually watch them play. Javi's going to lead off. He's going to ground out. The Rock comes to the plate, grounds out, and Grace singles again. So he's 2 for 3 in this one. Griffey pops up. So we are now through 5. It's a 3-3 ball game. Game number 1, wild card in Montreal. Javi Vasquez at the plate. I'm sorry, on the bump. He gets Hernandez to ground out. Lee is going to single. We attempt to pick him off. Can't get him. Kotze flies out. And Redmond, oh, there's Lee stealing second. Redmond grounds out. So Javi has made it through 6 innings. If we can get a run here in the 7th, we're going to pull him out. When we pull him out, we're going to go right to our 3 guys in succession, right? We're going to go Embry. We're going to go Rocker. We're going to go Trevor. Now, we have not seen much of Trevor here in the last couple of episodes. He's been great in the quick sim, but not so much when we have him out there. And Vladdy strikes out. Cabrera singles. He is 2 for 3. And, okay, so a double play from Charlie Hayes. Okay, Levon Hernandez comes to the plate. They're going to pinch hit for him. Oh, no. They let him hit, and he singles. We attempt to pick him off. We attempt to pick him off again. Loretta fielder's choice. Berg strikeout. Edmonds ground out. So I went with Javi. We left him in. I didn't bring in the bullpen because I wasn't paying attention to what the hell I was doing. And Levon Hernandez goes back out onto the bump. Let's see if they take him out. And they do, because they're smarter. Their manager is much smarter than I am. And there's Pudge grounding out. Mordecai singles, and we're going to take him out now. So, okay, not bad. Now, we've got a chance to do something here. My bench is full of nothing but catchers, and then Jones and Carroll. So, Rangel is a right-handed pitcher, so I think we need a left-handed bat, right? But I have no left-handed bats. I got 2 switch. Oh, I got Baroa. Ooh, we got Baroa. Okay, we're going to put Baroa in. Howie grounds out. God damn it, Howie. I mean, with a name like Howie Baroa. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to go with a pitching change. And now we're going to go to Embry. So Embry will come in. And he gives up a freaking triple. So here's where it gets a little tricky. All right, we need a little management decision here. We've got Jose Hernandez coming up. Derek Lee has just been killing us in this game. Hernandez is 0 for 3. So do we walk Hernandez here? This is a playoff game now, folks. All right, if you're just jumping into this mess, this is a freaking playoff game. We finally made it. We finally got some stress here inside the cave as we do this. And this is only game 1. All right, and I'm already feeling it. All right, I am sweating. I am sweating here with the Expos here at Olympic Stadium. And we are in the 8th inning. And it is a 3-3 game. We have a boatload of hits. We just can't get any runs. And we're in a little bit of a jam here. We got a runner on third, nobody out. Do we walk him? Do we walk Hernandez and pitch to Lee? Or do we risk it and throw to Hernandez? So, yeah, I'm not really sure what we should do. Not really sure what we should do here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to walk him.
Take your base. Ball 4.
So, bada bing, we walked him. Let's see if we can get a double play. And
He's safe.
no, he's still second, for crying out loud. Okay, so here's where it gets dicey again. But now we have the opportunity to walk
Ball 4,
Lee.
take your base.
So bases juice for Kotze, and we know what the hell he can do to this club. And there's a single. It's now a 4-3 game.
Ball 4,
A
take your
walk
base.
to load the bases again.
Pitch hitting, Eddie McMahon.
Fielder's choice. So is Embry going to get out of this mess? No. We get an error. It's now 6-3 in game 1. And there's another run scored. It's 7-3. So we blew this. We blew this. I completely blew this, and I do apologize if you're sitting here watching. It seems like there might be something going on with the screen. So if you can't see what's going on, or you can hear me, whatever, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on. I can't see it on my side, but it's telling me that there's an error. And of course, we made an error. We definitely made an error. So Eddie McMahon is going to be out on the mound.
Now
The Rock
Vic
grounds out.
Davenport.
And, okay, just give me 1 second here, and then we'll get this rolling again. Again, I'm not really sure what's going on. It's telling me we're having some issues. So let's see if we get a little